Hi, this is Michael Talis with the Talis team, and I'm talking to Kristine Halverson. She's a realtor in Bend, Oregon, and a lot of people from at least our area are considering Bend as a destination. So please, Kristine, introduce yourself first.
Hi, as he said, I'm Kristine Halverson. I'm here in Bend, Oregon, and I work with my sister Kim. We've been in real estate for over 20 years. We absolutely love Bend, Oregon and the Central Coast. We're with
Mhm.
Sotheby's and would love to share more with you about it.
So, how long have you been in Bend?
Been in Bend about 5 years, and yeah, about 5 years.
About 5 years. If you're moving to Bend, what will be one of the most important things you want to share?
Well, I think, the most important thing about Bend, I have a couple things. So they kind of go with each other. One is it's an outdoor mecca. So if you love the outdoors, if you're an outdoor enthusiast, this is a city to consider moving to. Another thing I like about Bend, especially if you're coming from a larger city or a densely populated city, it can be um, maybe you're wondering how are you going to adjust to a small
Mm.
town because we're about 100,000 people in Bend. It's a small town with a vibe. They have a lot of festivals and events on the weekends locally, and um, corporations also do events here from around the world. Like
Oh,
two
wow.
weekends ago, we had the Independent Film Festival. So there's all kinds of things like that happening in
And,
Bend.
and you have mountains and you have a river, right?
Yeah. Well, it's known for the river. Uh, I love water, so that was one of my big draws here. And then there's the mountains, and there's skiing in the mountains as well. And then there's lakes that you can drive to from the city, maybe like a half an hour. So it's all about the outdoors. I mean, even if you don't like to do these outdoor activities, not everyone's into that. I like to sit sometimes in the winter. I like to sit by the fireplace and look out my window and drink my coffee, or if I'm busy during the week, I will just drive to my bachelor's, about a 30-minute drive. There's
Mhm.
not really much traffic, and I'll just go and sit and watch the skiers. I'll take like a quick break and then I'll come back and finish up.
So you are truly four-season town.
Yeah, four seasons for sure.
Well, we're in San Francisco Bay Area is like perpetual spring. So
Oh, that's wonderful too.
well, to some extent, I miss the change in weather, and it's nice to see snow, but I don't want to live in snow. That's another.
Well, yeah, I get that a lot, especially from your area, but there is 300 days of sun here. So if you don't really like the snow that much, you could live in the northeast section. There's four sections in Bend. That's where I live because my background
Mhm.
is a little Midwest, but mainly Arizona. So I'm used to more warmer temperatures. But basically, when it snows, the sun will melt it off during the day.
Mhm.
So it's not really that big of a deal if you don't like snow. Just kind of live on the
Not too
eastern
much
side.
shoveling, I guess.
Well, I it's kind of like my work. So when it snows in the morning, I'll get out there and shovel the driveway. I have a neighbor that does the sidewalks at 7 a.m. for everyone. That's how nice they are
That's
here.
nice.
But I just get out and shovel it, and that's good for the day, or maybe it's good for a couple days even.
When people move to your area, what kind of questions are they asking?
Well, it depends on where they're from, but like from your area, they're concerned about the snow. How much snow is there? Um, they're also want to know about traffic.
Mhm.
So for
So,
me, there's not that much traffic. I mean, I pretty much stay in Bend because it has everything I need.
mhm.
But there are some people that are commuting from another town called Redmond. It's a little bit more affordable.
Mhm.
So that depending on when you're coming into work, if you go from Redmond to Bend for work, there can be some traffic, but it's definitely not like some of the larger cities. So it's very easy to get around here.
But it's a highway driving, right?
Yeah, if you're coming from,
From
well,
from Redmond.
from Redmond, there is some cut through roads, but most of it's highway. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, in terms of housing, what would be typical home in your area? Average,
Well,
median?
it just depends on what area you're moving into. So there's four quadrants in Bend. So there's
Mhm.
northwest, southwest, northeast, southeast. So northwest and southwest are some of the higher priced homes. So northwest, it can be the highest area.
So when you're saying highest, what's the price point in these different areas, roughly?
So
And I know
northwest,
it's changing. I'm looking at our area, for example, from April was the peak. In September, we had about a 12% drop. So what can I tell about the median price?
yeah, it is changing. But generally northwest, I would say for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath is maybe around 1.4.
Mhm.
And then southwest, I mean, can be as low as 850 up to over $1 million. Same thing with northeast. And then southeast is one of the fastest growing sectors of Bend.
Mhm.
So they're probably maybe 7-ish, somewhere around there.
So it's
Um,
so you're saying fast growing. So how much of new constructions do you have in your area?
we still have a lot of new construction, mainly not in the northwest because that's pretty much built out. I mean, there is new construction happening for custom homes,
Mhm.
meaning like 2 million on up.
Mhm.
But southeast, there's a couple local builders, and they're building like 3,700 homes, I think, in the next
Oh,
few years.
is there more space to expand Bend, or it's more or less landlocked? The reason I'm asking, Bay Area on Peninsula, you have bay on one side, mountains on another, and there
Yeah.
is no place to build anymore.
Yeah, there is it's 32 square miles. Um, so the city can decide to annex more land if they
Mhm.
want, which is what's happened with some of the buildings.
In terms of new construction, you said that there was uh, there is space that cities still trying to incorporate.
Yeah, there's lots of room
So
to
there is
build.
more
They
land
can,
to expand.
yeah, and most of the local Bendite people, they don't want that to happen, but that's city planning, city councils.
You just mentioned that Bend still has space to grow, and City Council is annexing more land around the city, incorporating it into the city boundaries. So, can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Well, the new construction project in Southeast Bend, they've annexed out. It was land where people would kind of use to hike on. It wasn't really being used for anything.
So it was
So
more like open land. It wasn't agricultural.
no, it wasn't agricultural, but there's, trees and rocks and wildlife. And if you're a hiker, you're probably going to be upset that that's being cleared out.
Well, what I noticed, I looked up an article before our conversation, and what was really amazing from 1990 to 2000, population of Bend more than doubled. So it's a fast growing city. At least that's my impression.
Yeah, the secret's out.
In terms of the housing, how common are HOAs, and do you have like communities, or it's more like standalone single family homes? What's in the housing pool
There are a lot of HOAs. It's very, very common.
for single family homes?
Yes.
Got it.
So HOAs, it depends on, like everywhere, what comes with the HOA. There's some that have pools and sport courts and trails. Those are going to be 125, 150-ish. Then there's some that don't have those amenities, but they still have an HOA. So what they're going to do is they're going to take care of your front lawn.
Mhm.
And then when needed, they'll do snow removal. But those aren't that much.
In terms of the housing pool, are most of the available housing single family homes, or you have a lot of condos, townhomes? What's the balance?
There is a lot of single family homes. Single family, and if they're single family, it's common to have the two levels. I have a couple people requesting single level home, 3 bedroom, 3 bath. That 3 full bath is a tough request to
Right,
find, especially single level. Even if you go up over 3 million, it's just not really there. It's really common to have 3 bedroom, 2 bath, or a 3 bedroom, 2.5 bath. I did have somebody who bought a house with a remodeled attic, and they were going to add a bathroom up there because they really want 3 bathrooms, plus the resale value would be great for them. So I would highly recommend, if you're looking for something, try 3 bedroom, 2.5 bath.
right.
Yeah.
So how old is the housing pool? When majority of the housing was built?
Well, there's the original Bend sections, old Bend, those are like 1920s. And then there's Aubrey Butte, and that was being built in like the 70s, 80s.
Got it.
Uh, and then recently a lot of new construction.
So it's kind of three levels of housing
Yeah.
in terms of age. So how is the market today? How long are homes are staying on the market?
Well, that's a great question. I mean, they're not staying on that long. I would say the median days on market is about 23 days. Last month it was 17.
Wow, it's
So,
quite a change.
right. So it's gradually easing up. But what I did notice in terms of the numbers, so I think right now we have 425 homes available, and then 195 are in escrow, meaning they have offers on them.
Mhm.
So, because it's a small town, we just don't have a lot of inventory. So it's always, let's say you have 500 homes on the market, then 250 will be in escrow. So it's always kind of like half the inventory is in escrow.
Got it. So
Yeah.
in terms of the competition, how stiff is the competition for homes?
Well, it really depends on what area you're buying in and what, neighborhood, because they're all different. I have market reports on our website, lovelybendhomes.com, so you can look at Bend in general, and then if there's a
Yeah, I'll put the
neighborhood that
link
you
in the
like.
description.
Yeah, but just to give you like an overview of Bend. So there's a 23% of the homes still sell for over asking.
Mhm.
The rest are selling for possibly 4% under asking, so 96% of the sale price. And just like in any other market, if it's been sitting on the market for a long time, you can make a lower offer and see if it'll get accepted.
The homes that are sold above asking, are they getting multiple offers?
Yes,
So that's where the competition is.
yes. And there's a golf, kind of a private gated golf community here called River's Edge. It's on the edge of the Northwest. It's
Mhm.
really nice. It has mountain and river views. And for some reason in that community, their days on market are longer. So if you're a golfer, I would look at River's Edge for sure.
I guess they have higher HOA fees, and people who don't care about golf are not are
No,
not in
they're actually
competition.
not that bad.
Really?
Yeah, they're, I don't know why, but um I did notice some people are trying to sell their homes for more than they're worth, which is kind of what happens when the market shifting is, you want that price that you thought maybe you could get earlier in the year,
Mhm.
maybe even that price was too high. I don't know.
Well, it's shifting really fast. I'm looking at a lot of forecasts specifically for mortgage interest rates, and it
Yeah.
seems like actual rates are higher than the forecast. I was looking just earlier today, and the mortgage rate was over 7%. First time
Hmm.
I noticed that in any study. So that probably affects a lot of demand.
For sure. Yeah, that does. But I think Bend is a little different, because if you're moving from a larger area like yours, you're cashing out. And so the interest rates may not affect you as much as somebody else.
So you see a lot of cash offers.
Yeah, there's still a lot of cash offers, typically from the Northern California or from Seattle, where they're selling their homes and paying cash or getting a small loan.
Got it. So the interest rates are not as critical.
Right.
So in terms of property taxes, what can you tell me about the property taxes in the area?
It's just under 1%, so it's 0.90% of the purchase price.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's better than California then.
Yeah. That's in Deschutes County. So if you're not, that's Bend. If you're looking at other counties, they're different.
Got it. And when people are moving in, a lot of clients that we work with are looking for schools. What can you tell me about the schools in the area?
Well, it's always good to, I like Northwest Crossing if you're looking for schools because it kind of has everything in one community, meaning it's very walkable. They have great
Oh, wow.
schools. There's all kinds of shops and restaurants, and you, I don't know if you really need a car if you live in Northwest Crossing. So,
Bicycle.
yeah, so that's kind of my go-to. Um, Everybody loves that community, but I always encourage people to look on Great Schools website for the ranking and the comments on there, because
Right.
everyone's different and some people like to homeschool. So it's just the whole landscape of school has changed a lot.
So were they open during COVID or you got locked up? I
Yeah,
mean,
locked
public
up.
school.
Yeah,
Yeah.
some.
Th-
Yeah,
That's what we see in the areas where people were locked out of public schools. They're looking either for private schools or,
right.
and there is a push more towards homeschooling.
Yep.
Yeah. So, in terms of employment in the area, what kind of businesses, what kind of work people can find?
Well, I would say the reason why a lot of people are moving here is because 16% of the population can work from home or
Mhm.
is able to work from home. So we have a 16% remote work from home. And then the number one employer is the hospital of St. Charles. So you have a lot of medical professionals here.
Got it. How about retired people? Is there a big population of retirees in the area?
Yeah, yeah.
So it's kind of a place where you can relax.
Yeah. I think it has something for everybody. That's why I love it here.
You mentioned a lot of people are moving in for recreational reasons, for great outdoors. But tell me about the food. What will be the
Right.
best know? What are you known for?
Oh, well, probably not food, but we're known for the microbreweries. There's several local breweries. It's kind of weird. That's not why I came here. I'm more of a wine foodie person. I love the brewery culture though. I think it's fun. But there's a couple restaurants in town that I love that are farm to table, and a lot of people source the food locally. So even if
So
it's
what
not
kind of
like
food is that?
a farm to table, New American, yeah, so there's a couple really good places like Ariana's, one of the better restaurants in town. They have a tasting menu. And then there's Boss Torres. They're known for steaks, so they'll do like a locally
Oh,
sourced meat, grass fed if they can. Then there's Zydeco. Zydeco's been in Triple D. They're fun. They have a really good shrimp and grits, and the husband is in the kitchen. The
oh,
wife,
it's that sounds southern,
yeah.
like shrimp. But
Well, they're from New Orleans, so he'll do jambalaya. And then the wife is a mixologist, so she does like the cocktail menu.
whew, in our area, where I think in a lot of stores around here, we have Deschutes brewery products. I don't know if that's from your area or it's somewhere other place along the
Yeah,
river.
yeah, they're here. Deschutes breweries here. Yeah, they're great.
So we're getting a flavor of Bend here in the Bay Area.
So let me just talk to you about a couple things that people don't know, because if they're coming from a more densely populated area, they typically want more space, more land. So we get a lot of people who say, I want acreage.
Mhm.
And they don't really understand what's involved with acreage. And so you'll see people buying acreage and then moving in a couple of years into the city. So maybe I
Interesting.
could share with you why, and this might help you, if
Definitely.
might help somebody considering moving to Bend. So if you're dealing with acreage, maybe half acre or an acre or more, generally, like maybe, I don't know the percentage, it's up there, maybe 90% is not connected to the city sewer. So you would have septic. So that
Okay.
a lot of people don't like septic. So you have septic. So let's say you're okay with septic. There's underground septic and there's above ground septic. So there's those two types. Then your water is coming from they say it's a public company, but it's actually a private company. And they're getting their water from wells. So then you're in the category of irrigation because you need to take care of your property. And the amount of maintenance that's involved in taking care of acreage is overwhelming, even for your type A personality that loves to take care of things and has endless energy. Even they get tired.
Well, you
So
need a
it's,
tractor for
yeah,
that size.
even with the tractor, it's just, there's just so much involved with acreage. So I just encourage you, if unless you plan on, you're going to have horses, you're going to develop the land or something like that, that's okay. But if you just want space, I would buy something close to the river or close to the mountains so you can just walk out and enjoy that instead of having acreage to maintain. And then you're dealing with septic and irrigation and all this other stuff.
So when you're talking about maintenance, any of that is mandated by the government? Because, for example, here, if you live in the, let's say, high fire danger areas, you have to maintain a fire safe perimeter and cut dry grass, stuff like that. And you can be fined if you are not maintaining it right. Is there anything related to maintenance in your area that is government regulations?
I I assume there is. I haven't run into that because everything I've seen has been pretty much maintained, and the raw land that I've seen, I don't think it's maintained as well as it should be in terms of fire hazards.
Well, I'm glad you didn't have that experience.
Yeah,
It's a California thing, I guess.
right.
So we touched up on weather, but is there anything else we need to add to that? You're in Four Season area, you're at a little higher elevation. So anything people have to keep in mind if they're moving there? Yes, they will need a winter coat, but what else?
Oh, yeah, layers, winter coat. I like the winter coats that are longer to cover your legs too. Um, but I mean, you can walk here year round. Maybe you need to depends on where you're at, but you might need to get something on your boots so you don't slip. I haven't had to do that yet, but
Snow
who knows?
tires?
Um, I just do seasonal year-round tires. Some people do the studded tires. I have two different cars, so I
One
have
for
one.
winter?
Yeah. One is a big truck and then one is a SUV. So I drive the big truck when there's been snow because there can be black ice here
Mhm.
that people don't see. But generally in the winter, I just drive slower, and a lot of people drive the same or faster, and that's where the accidents happen.
Well, you definitely have to be careful, especially in our area. People don't know how to drive in kind of adverse conditions.
Right.
Even rain is a problem. After living there for 5 years, can you share with me a few things that you think would be like absolutely best about Bend and things you would like to change absolutely worst about Bend?
Oh, that's a big question. So for me, the
It-
what I love about Bend is that it's all about the outdoors for any age, any physical fitness. There's something you can do because I don't want to be inside all the time. And a lot of people are outdoors too. So I like the walkability. I can take a walk in my neighborhood. There's a couple parks within like a 5-minute car drive around me that I can go to. I am 7 minutes from downtown, so I can go downtown, walk around downtown, or walk around the river.
Hmm.
It's very easy to get around here, very easy. I mean, if you've been here a long time, you're going to think there's a lot of traffic, but for me, it's very easy to get around here.
Yeah.
Um, Also, the breweries are a big draw. And there's a pretty good food scene here. I mean, there's a handful of restaurants that do things really well to higher levels, so I'm okay with that. That's important to me. But I've also been cooking more here. I have a Traeger grill, and
Mhm.
um, just the food is a lot fresher here, so that's great.
That's good to know. Yeah, it's just people in the Bay Area are spoiled because you can get everything from virtually any part of the world.
Yeah.
It's
Oh
like
yeah.
from so
Yeah,
so it.
so if yeah, so the negative things you're bringing up is, I think we're getting our for next year we're getting a Asian market. So
Mhm.
we have that style of spices and food choices. If you're into international type cooking, like home cooking, it's going to be hard to find some different spices and seasonings that maybe you're used to having in a larger city. Um, I think I think one thing I want to touch on is that this is happening to many small cities, especially um, small cities that have a lot to offer. Is the people who have lived here for decades, they're not happy with the urban sprawl and the growth, and they kind of want to keep it a small town. But the city planning keeps allowing building to happen and annexing more land for growth. So, you know,
Well, the alternative is to go higher if you have population growth, and
yeah,
people don't like that either. So any way you look
yeah,
at it, uh, people don't like newcomers.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's unfortunate, but that I would say that's a negative because it's like this land is your land, this land is my land. That John Denver song. I think it was him, but
Right.
so I'm just very welcoming for everyone that wants to move here because it's a beautiful life. So I was I had some clients in town. I got to tell you this. This is funny.
Sure.
Um, like my clients have great attitudes. I had some clients in town. I We all drove together. There was like 7 of us, and we were just driving around town looking at property. And all of a sudden, my client who was driving said, "Somebody just like sped up and flipped me off." And they had a rental car, and the rental car had California plates. And they're like, "Is that because I have California plates?" I'm like, maybe, yeah, probably. you know so you know
We have that reputation here in California.
but yet, a lot of people from California move here, so it's like a mini California here, so it's kind of funny, I think.
Right. So, if somebody's thinking about moving to Bend, what would be the best way to get in touch with you?
Oh, you can email hi@lovelybendhomes.com. You could also give us a call. It's 541-371-2787. Either of those would be great.
Sounds good. And I'll put this information in the description of the video. So scroll down and you can have it in written form. Well, thank you, Kristine. I really appreciate your time. And hopefully you will be able to welcome more people from California to your place.
Yes, I'd be happy to help anybody move to Bend, and especially anyone from your area. That'd be great, from your team.
Thank you.